Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between 120 versus WFZ. 120 spawning as the blue undead player here, what I'll call the 5 o'clock position of Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, at the other side, well, hop, skipping, and jumping away, at the 4 o'clock position, we have WFZ. This is going to be an undead versus undead mirror match. Should be a good matchup, as we are already getting things underway. You see a quick crypt graveyard opening up. And wow, excuse me, and it is looking like another crypt graveyard coming in from WFZ as well. I'll probably just refer to them by color throughout the rest of the time. Let's take a look at this population. 120 should be blue. Yep, that does go ahead and line up with their colors, and we'll see how all of this does go down in this 1v1 matchup. Now, Lich is sometimes used as the primary hero in a 1v1 matchup with Undead, just because the Death Knight pretty much acts as a paladin in this matchup as opposed to being able to hero nuke with that Death Coil. The Lich being able to have that Frost Nova pick off units relatively fast, that is all extremely helpful as things are getting underway, and the production tab pretty much shows what we expect to see. Both players pretty much doing the same exact thing. There's that Tomb of Relics followed by, nope, no Tomb of Relics as of yet at the other side, as ghouls are now being placed down. Graveyard now completed. The ghouls are going to start clearing out all of these trees off over here, since it is a shorter bit of walking distance and lets a little bit of extra room here as well to try and build any of those precious buildings. Altar of Darkness is now done. Tomb of Relics has been added as well, waiting for that Ziggurat to be done, as it will be a Death Knight going up against well, another Death Knight. So Death Knight versus Death Knight mirror match. We are already at the 2-minute mark, but because of the delay on the Altar of Darkness, we won't see any real hero creeping until I believe the 2-minute 30-second to 2-minute 45-second mark, somewhere in that range. Now, Crypt Fiends are being added here. Very solid surround or building placement, making sure that the units are not able to run on inside. How is all of this going to go down here? Perhaps a Crypt Fiend is going to try and poke at these Sea Turtle hatchlings. And then once poking at these, nope, not poking at a Sea Turtle hatchling, interestingly enough, Crypt Fiend now makes its way across, spots the Blight, and knows exactly where his opponent is. Crypt Fiend now looking to back up here, perhaps going to be able to get in a number of easy shots, as the Crypt Fiend now looking to pull here, get some damage onto that Ogre Warrior without suffering any damage on his own. Alright, let's take a look at this. Crypt Fiend could have attacked there, needing to get a little bit of extra damage once more. There you go, you can see those little spiders, how slow that attack is, as the Death Knight now makes its way over, going after the remainder of these units. Both sides clearing out the Ogre Warrior creep camp first. The Ogre Warrior creep camp does drop a better item, but will not give level 2 to either of these players. Skeletal minions are all out onto the field already. Death Knight already used up 2 Rod of Necromancy charges, as the Forest Troll will get taken down. Meanwhile, the last couple of units will be left here. You can take a look. The Skeletal Minion is looking for where exactly his opponent is and still has not spotted him. Death Knight now making its rounds across here. Going to get some damage onto the Sea Turtle hatchling once more. Death Knight taking a bit of damage there. Doesn't want to take too much, but you can see that that damage is really starting to add up. Giant Sea Turtle down to 52 hit points will get taken down. Level 2 now on the Death Knight. Unholy Aura, adding in a little bit of extra movement speed and also regeneration. As you take a look at this Skeletal Minion now making its rounds, will come across here in just a moment, sees the Undead army and says, you know what, let me take a look around inside here, see what's going on. Death Knight back on Blight is going to regenerate hit points fairly quickly here, as there are 3 ghouls back at home. Now, home field advantage does mean a little bit, just because you're able to stand on Blight while your opponent generally is not able to. Death Knight and Death Knight pretty much with the same exact items. No, Slippers of Agility. Where is the other item here? Perhaps it was sold. Perhaps it was a Cloak of Shadows sold. Not very useful in this matchup, as the Death Knight still getting in some free shots across all of these units. Skeletal Minions trying to rush on inside here. Not going to have a good time. Well, the Cold Tower going to finish that off, as the Death Knight gets in a Death Coil to try and save one of those low hit point Crypt Fiends. Skeletal minions are getting picked off on both sides, but pretty much both sides are just trying to make sure that you're not able to get your game off completely. You want a little bit of harassment to see if you can throw your opponent off their game while not getting off of your own game either. Now, the heavy harassment coming in from the blue, you can take a look as the Death Knight now trying to go after another Crypt Fiend there. That Crypt Fiend down to 162 hit points, but with that Nerubian Tower in that front position, it will be a very, very easy time to try and protect it. That Crypt Fiend may be able to even get off a handful of volleys of attacks and back off again. However, you have to be careful on that cooldown of that Death Coil. If too many low hit point Crypt Fiends are low at the same time, you could switch targeting, and then all of a sudden your own Death Knight is on cooldown when it should be trying to heal. Sitting at 285, not quite sure why he hasn't Death Coiled as of yet. He's gonna max out on mana in just a little bit of time. And well, it doesn't make any sense to be maxed out on mana, especially when your hip units are still low. All right, coming across in an engagement right here. Low hit point. There's a Death Coil trying to save it. More and more damage going to be absorbed right there. There you go. One unit getting focus fire down from an ensnare, as it is now a 4 versus 3 Crypt Fiend battle. New skeletal minions now being popped back up. This Death Knight is maxed out on mana, finally realizes it, and uses that Death Coil there. I'm assuming if you actually saw mana bars on your Death Knight, you would know, hey, I do not want to do that. I do not want to max out on my mana. I would have used that Death Coil just a little bit earlier. As you can see, this Death Knight still sitting at 245 mana and counting back up. We are already at Black Citadel. We are getting that Lich as units are still making their rounds out. Back across here, Lich is already out as well. And who's going to be able to do that damage first? So far, Blue has just constantly been harassed, getting ensnared again. That's going to be a little bit of a big situation. Is he going to lose that Crypt Fiend? No, he is not. It is still a 4v3, and the Gargantuan Sea Turtle still causing problems. May finish off this low hit point Crypt Fiend there. Death Knight, oh, Frost Nova comes back the other way. One Crypt Fiend down. Second Crypt Fiend barely saved. Already down to 170 hit points, so you know for a fact that would have been taken down right there. That Death Knight down to 135 hit points. What is happening? It has to be extremely careful, since that Death Knight could take a lot of damage easily from the Lich. That Lich with a big Frost Nova could actually melt this Death Knight right here, who is slowly trying to get to level 3. Lich at the other end, both sides still fighting. This Death Knight sitting at 320 hit points. Both sides are engaging. They are going to be retreating once more. These Crypt Fiends are all low on hit points, should be staying on Blight, as we are looking at all of these trees about to get taken down. All right, Death Knight using that Rod of Necromancy wants to get more skeletal minions over. Whoever gets this Gargantuan Sea Turtle may actually come out on top, slightly ahead. Beautiful Frost Nova forcing that Death Knight to not engage any longer. Meanwhile, this Crypt Fiend still in that front position here. Lich at 110 mana. What's going to happen as this Lich, wow, gets another Frost Nova off? All right, so far, 120 is in a big trouble. He has lost more Crypt Fiends, I do believe. But the Lich is going to be at 125 mana, meaning that he can, in fact, melt Death Knight here in just the right amount of time. Meanwhile, 149 mana here. Who's going to be able to come out ahead as the skeletal minions are quickly getting taken down? Obsidian Statue coming across, healing multiple units here. As you see, a lot of units are getting picked off on both sides. Dark Ranger may be coming in from the back. You got to keep track of that. Perhaps that Death Knight, who thinks that it is currently safe, may end up finding itself at the end of a black arrow right there. All right, damage coming across. Is that Lich going to get taken down? One or two more shots could take it down right there, and it does go down. All of a sudden, WFZ is in serious trouble as 120 gets the kill on the Lich. That Lich, however, still low on mana, not going to be able to do very much. Going after the Obsidian Statue. Death Knight down to 12 hit points, trying to get away. The Death Knight chasing after another Death Knight here, as the Crypt Fiends are still chasing once more. Is this Death Knight going to be able to get the final shots off? I do not believe so. Down to 42 hit points, still running away, and it looks like it has hugged the corner just enough, as the rest of the units have, well, been aggroed. All right, Crypt Fiend now looking to pull back here. Obsidian Statue has a lot of work to do to heal back up this one Death Knight. Meanwhile, the Dark Ranger is here as well, getting in perhaps some essence of mana, as this Gargantuan Sea Turtle could get taken down. Both sides taking down Gargantuan Sea Turtles. This Obsidian Statue down to 65 hit points, dangerously low on hit points once more, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle will get taken down. Pendant of Energy now on the Death Knight. That is going to be a big item to keep with that Death Knight, or perhaps given to the Lich as well, since the Lich could probably do with more mana as well. Lich Orb of Corruption is on both of the Liches. That -5 armor debuff is going to be absolutely incredible as the Lich tries to get a Frost Nova off. There you go. There's the Frost Nova onto the Crypt Fiend. Lich now gets taken down. Lich versus Lich once more. Both sides fighting every which way as the Crypt Fiend is taken down as well. However, the Giant Sea Turtle going after some of these units. All right, there's a little bit of a steal there by 120. As the Orb of Corruption still getting -5 armor onto some of those Crypt Fiends. Death Coil does save one low hit point Crypt Fiend. Death Knight still sitting at level 2. Has a lot of mana. This Lich sitting at 111. You could actually give the Pendant of Energy to the Lich. Let it cast Frost Nova as it would gain mana all of a sudden. And then give it back. That's actually one way to use it as well. As you see a Death Coil interrupted by a Silence. Still, more units are fighting every which way. Obsidian Statues in the back here. Who is going to be able to come back across? Death Knight has plenty of mana, but has not used a Death Coil. Wow, there. Barely in time, but not going to be enough. Death Knight now looking to head back off to the north here, even though it has -1 armor. Both sides suffering heavy casualties, but the army sizes are fairly even. 120 still in trouble, though, as it is sitting at level 2 on the Death Knight instead of level 3. Level 3 makes a tremendous amount of difference, healing for 400 as opposed to 200. Lich, level 2, now going after the Death Knight here. Lich now pulling back. The levels are 2-1-1 versus a 3-2-1. That is, in fact, a big deal as the Dark Ranger is about to get to level 2 as well. All right, in comes the Dark Ranger going after some of these units. Let's take a look. -5 armor. What is going on? Obsidian Statue now coming in from the back as well. Death Coil saves on that Lich. That 400 hit point heal. So difficult to deal with as the Death Knight now, well, heads back home. Let's take a look. Death Coil does save a low hit point Crypt Fiend again, as it is now quickly down to 124 hit points. A big burrow right there trying to save as the Dark Ranger gets taken down. Death Knight may get taken down as well, down to 28 hit points, and does barely survive. Units are going to be retreating back once more as, well, if someone spit on that Death Knight would probably just fall over. That is how low he is on life, but the Obsidian Statues are, in fact, doing their job. Death Knight now coming back around the other side. Death Knight does have a potion of mana. Lich perhaps should be looking at that potion of mana as well. As you can take a look, 50 supply compared to 50 supply. Triple Obsidian Statues trying to heal back up the remaining units. As, well, Essence of Blight and Essence of Mana cannot stack, so you only really need 2 Obsidian Statues, or perhaps you'll be able to get a Destroyer up momentarily. Level 1 Lich going up against a level 2 Lich. Level 3 Death Knight going up against a level 2 Death Knight. Things are going well for WFZ as he is still able to get some creeping going on while getting harassed by 120. 120 now trying to pull back here. This is not looking good for him at all. Ogre Warrior now going to get taken down. Ogre Magi drops a pendant and does have a Scroll of the Beast. The Scroll of the Beast could be used here, and then all of a sudden the damage would just be, well, simply through the roof. Another Crypt Fiend getting taken down, and this is starting to be the slow bleed of 120. 120 is pretty much in critical condition right now. He is going to be on life support in just a little bit, but the Lich does get to level 2. Death Knight still sitting at level 2 here. Is that going to be enough? A level 2 Lich, perhaps some big Frost Novas, as the Death Knight may be able to get a Frost Nova off here. Death Knight down to 70 hit points, down to 17, 18, down to 15, and it does survive again. 30 hit points, trying to play using every bit of hit point to save and maximize damage. As you see, the Death Knight is now simply standing back on Blight. This Crypt Fiend needs to come back home, stay on Blight, do something, but if he sits inside his base, he will most likely get destroyed. All right, 55 supply right now. WFZ is in a good spot. WFZ is going to take this opportunity to clear out more difficult creep camps. The Lich of, well, WFZ sitting, I believe, almost at level 3, 2.5 right now. Dark Ranger is now at 2.5 as well, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtles will get taken out. Death Knight quickly runs across the other which way. Dark Ranger trying to get healed up. Obsidian Statue does show up to the party. Death Coil isn't going to be able to save that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger down to 115 hit points. And, well, does end up surviving a little while longer. Finally, level 3 on the Death Knight. Death Knight now finally using that Death Coil, trying to heal up the remaining units. But it is still going to be a 3-2-2 compared to, I believe, a 3-3-2, as the Lich is going to get to level 3 after this Gargantuan Sea Turtle. All right, 63 supply compared to 50. Well, 120 is doing the best he can right now to restabilize and get back into this game. You can see a quick silence onto that Overlord there as we are looking at triple Obsidian statues. There's a Death Coil trying to finish off that Overlord. Overlord gets taken down. Cloak of Flames now on the Lich, as we are going to be taking a look at the Ogre Warrior creep camp getting cleared up. Dark Ranger sitting at 2. This is a rather difficult creep camp to clear, and that is going to be good news, as it is going to be a 3, almost 3-2 compared to a current 3-3, almost 3. Death Knight now coming across here. Where are all these units going? Ghoul is going to get taken down. Dark Ranger could have gotten to level 3, will get to level 3 right now. And what is going on? It doesn't look like 120 is even going to try and save his base. Level 3 now on the Lich. He wanted that extra bit of experience for those Frost Novas, but now that we have Anti-Magic Shell, the amount of damage, well, being absorbed is going to be significantly lower. Destroyer quickly getting webbed down. Banshees over Destroyers. And, well, that is pretty much going to be it. The Death Coils, the Frost Nova is not going to be doing very much. Beautiful Death Coil right there. Roar, I believe, was used, yes, by the red team. WFZ does have Roar, but is it going to perhaps get devoured? Yes, it does. Destroyer does have a good amount of mana, but quickly focus down that Crypt Fiend army, doing such a great job. 64 supply compared to 47. Death Knight is going to get taken down, and there it goes. 120 going to lose this game to WFZ. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to me on YouTube. More subscribers, the better, obviously. And I don't know. I don't know. Will I ever hit 100,000 subscribers? Probably not, considering even some of the other YouTube channels, more popular casters, don't even have 15 or just got to 15,000. But gotta say, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you guys want to catch me live, I will be streaming on Twitch. My main days are going to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.